Okay, I was just accidentally-ing a thing.
Yep.
As I do.
5. We're back
Jinx.
on Tatooine.
As we should have been before we were rudely interrupted.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna stop being like Tatooine here. It's gonna turn into the Descent.
Oh. With creepy ambience. As
See, this is what I mean. See, we're now going like 2 kmh. And now we're speeding up to 5. And soon we'll be careening downstairs at 40. I mean, no, not that.
What's a creepy, like, abandoned mine? Wouldn't you want to walk slowly through it?
Okay, what sci-fi ripoff is this? Is this, like, actually kind of original?
I mean, it could be, like, The Thing or something.
It makes you think of The Descent because there's like water at the bottom.
Abandoned mines and tunnels aren't really an original thing in any form of media. There's a reason that sewer levels are so widely decried, and we just went straight through that like pipe. And there's Pac-Man.
Because we're ghosts. We established this.
Yeah, we're literally just a ghost. Oh, and now it's a sick Pac-Man. And we're gonna go through that again, aren't we?
Maybe we won't notice this time.
We're gonna phase through it in a different direction so we won't see it go right through our body.
through our eyes. Oh gosh, that was even worse. We canned ourselves on that wire.
Yeah, jeez. Okay, so we've got a train transport thing.
So the puzzle was to flick that switch so that the train works.
So it is actually like a train.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the game does not have that many puzzles. It's just lots of do this then that moments.
Right.
I have no idea why this like train was required because they're literally going in a circle downwards. I mean, we went further on stairs before.
It's because there was no way to just walk down there, unless you wanted to slide down the track that the train is suspended on.
They would have used makeshift stairs to make the train.
Too deep of a hole.
Touché. So, okay, we just climbed down the same distance again on stairs.
And
regardless,
we phased through all of that debris that was on the floor.
No. We just tucked our legs up like in Mirror's Edge.
He was not moving fast enough or hard enough.
We are ghosts. Stop it. Okay, so you do both these levers. Why? Because.
Don't you mean eggs?
Those are the worst eggs ever.
Yeah, they're like rock eggs. Or egg rocks. And we're gonna float back down. That one, okay, that's even more strange because we had the like lurch of like physical movement when we got to the bottom of that ladder, but we're clearly still just floating.
I think the longer we think about this, the more insane we get.
It doesn't make any sense.
Explain how this makes sense. I refuse to believe that we're actually controlling this. Because there's no indication of what the heck we're trying to do.
We're in a submersible all of a sudden.
This is why it's now the Descent.
Right.
So we go and we do this. And, I refuse to believe that we're doing this. There's no... this has got to be automated, because there's no way our character would know that we want to do this.
He's like Rob Foster. He can see the future, but he doesn't let the player in on that.
Better idea than I got.
I think I think that's a common like power that all adventure game protagonists have. It's the only way that they can solve all of the puzzles that they have to go through in their games.
Except Hoagie, Laverne, and Bernard, ironically enough. So we did all that, and why do we do that? Because we want to collect some rocks.
Oh, and we're just gonna pelt them inside of ourselves.
Yeah, that went through us into our backpack, through our necks.
Just go right through the torso. Oh boy. So, I'd like to take a moment to point out that this was made by a company called Earthlight, and it is near impossible to find any actual information about Earthlight, the developer. But there's a very interesting website that seems to be kind of like an artifact of old internet. If you go
that we found while searching for Earthlight.
If you go to earthlight.net, it's very
An experience.
Currently the About page has, of course, quotes on it. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished, by Lao Tzu, and followed by Nature has much more time than we do, Stephen P. Goodman. And Stephen P. Goodman is, of course, one of the people who runs Earthlight.net.
And that would explain why the Earthlight.net has clearly not been updated since 1992.
Yeah. And, following on from that as well, there's another very interesting relic of the past in Mr. Bill's Adventureland.
Plug, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean...
It's so charming. That was Trapped in Time from 97.
The weirdest part to me is that his last review was apparently the Book of Unwritten Tales in 2013. And the website still looks like it was designed and created in 1997 and just hasn't been updated since then.
I'm impressed.
But yeah,
I noticed that all these things that like review the Crystal Key just seem to like stop, like seem to be trapped in time. Everything related to Crystal Key.
It's an odd thing.
I think we're stuck in 2015 forever, dude.
Maybe. We have to get out of the we have to quantum leap. That's what we have to do.
Oh well. Anyway, so we have rocks. Do you know what we need to do with the rocks?
No idea.
Neither does the character, but they're gonna do this anyways.
We're going to pelt them at something.
Well, they're gonna levitate at high speed somewhere, but
yeah,
apparently it's not quite the same.
Because we don't have a physical body with which to throw rocks.
Okay, so we're coming up to one of my favorite contraptions in history. So we got this control panel with nothing happening.
No indication of what it is or what it's for.
No. And we got all this machinery that's like hooked together, and it looks pretty grandiose. And,
And we do precisely one thing with it, right?
Oh, of course. This is designed for one thing and one thing only, and boy, is it worth it.
So this is like something I should have pointed out as soon as we got to ground level in Beneath the Steel Sky and saw the bricks wrapped around with a rope wrapped around them, sitting on a plank, and it's a very elaborate Rube Goldberg machine that is just needlessly complicated and so like overly designed that it's obviously a puzzle.
Pretty much. So we're going to put rock in buckets.
And the rock is going to power the machine?
Yeah, it won't work until you put a rock in it. But then...
Beautiful.
This is the least efficient thing in the history of bureaucracy.
so beautiful. This is like the what is it? Back to the Future or
Yeah. Like,
yeah, that's
is...
exact. Oh wow, that's exactly what it is actually.
That's what this is ripping off. So we're ripping off Back to the Future. I am dead serious. This is the least efficient thing because we just did that. We done it all, and what did we get?
A pancake.
A coin. A coin with nothing on it, like no logo, just scratches.
Huh?
So we turned a rock into a coin.
I assume, of course, that is going to be used for something.
Tragically.
It would be great if that was just a complete red herring item and you don't even need it to complete the game.
Well, the thing you have to use it for is brain hemorrhaging.
Yeah, it is a shame that mountain range is so nice to look at.
Yeah, like this is pretty beautiful, but I have no idea why all this. Because there's like this great big caldera with like the peak in it, and inside is water.
It's a wishing well.
Yeah, you nailed it, dude. You solved the puzzle.
Oh dear.
Kind of. Instead of throwing first, we're gonna throw rocks.
Yeah. They spent all of their like time and budget on actually creating the world and the assets, and then they didn't have anything left over for like Beyond Atlantis. They didn't have anything left over for like making the puzzles or the plot or anything else.
There seems to be a running theme with what we play. Beyond Atlantis, Darkfall, and now the Crystal Key.
Yeah.
So much effort in one area and everything else is ruined.
Yeah. Fortunately, there are of course adventure games that don't fall into that pitfall.
Day of the Tentacle did well, and we're going to play others like the Myst series, and if anyone says anything bad about the Myst series, I will murder them.
Whoa! Whoa!
FYI.
I thought you were supposed to be like a good Christian. Oh, wait. Actually, Christians are pretty historically known for murdering
Shush. They said bad things about Myst, okay? Okay, so I threw this in the wrong pond. So we're going to quickly reload, because lol.
There are 2 ponds?
No, there's 3. That's why I made a mistake.
Oh. So are we throwing a rock into each pond?
Yeah, and you'll notice there's something a bit off about the 3rd pond.
If we get there, maybe.
We're levitating as hard as we can.
Yeah, you'd think if you could levitate, like, at will, you would be able to, like, pick up the pace.
Well, don't forget, with the CD, there's like a 5-second delay for everything. Okay, so we're throwing a rock at this one.
Oh, no ripple.
Let's try throwing the coin then. Why this happens, I have no idea. Like, absolutely no idea why this happens.
Because science fiction magic.
But why did the coin trigger the problem, but not the...
It was because the way the rock got processed into the coin imbued it with special, like, properties. It was like the way that things get enchanted in, like, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. Or in other words, if you overthink it, whoa. Oh, did we... Or we just knocked the holographic projector with the coin.
But why did the rock not do that?
Because we didn't have good enough aim.
But we still... Okay.
God, and I was trying so hard to, like, actually justify it. No.
So, let's just ruin everything.
We're going to unplug it.
We're going to unplug it. And why are we wanting to unplug it? Why do we want to unplug it? Because we need the electricity. What do we need the electricity for?
The jumper cables.
But to attach to the steel door.
We're hot wiring the door.
We're hot wiring the door. Now I know what you're thinking. Sure, maybe it's an electric door and like give it a jolt of electricity and like maybe it'll like just kind of like pop open. That would make some semblance of sense, right?
That's not what happens, is it?
Well, would I be asking a semi-rhetorical question if it was?
Okay, what are we gonna do with this door?
Well, no, you jolt it, and you would expect it to just pop open because it's electric, but this happens. So,
totally worth it.
Admittedly, totally worth it.
Wow, that was like the most powerful electrical shock I've ever seen.
And the slowest.
Wow, remarkable.
Like, it launched the poor jumper cable off the door. I was hoping to take the projector with me, but it's screwed down.
We didn't even shock it from the hinges.
Well, you know, metal's a conductor, so it traveled all through the door.
Oh.
Shifty eyes.
Wow.
Eyes.
Oh, that was fantastic. And we're in a cavern.
The entire game was worth playing just for that door opening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very much.
It's so dark. Why is it so dark?
No, there's another... Is that another Stargate? That's another Stargate.
Does it look like one? Then it probably is. With this game, what you see is tragically what you get.
I like how it's on like a stage.
Well, it's the testing platform, I suppose.
Yeah. It's got another one of those holographic projectors.
So yeah, you might want to quiet down for this one because he says something a little bit important.
Kellen snuck out today to spy on Osgard's men. He says that they were raiding the lab, no doubt looking for clues to our whereabouts. We're terrified. Thank the heavens we built the portal down here, just in case something
How
like
convenient.
It's all such a waste. The hadium deposits in this crater are richer than anyone could have ever fathomed, and would have kept our colonies fueled and growing well into the future. And we were just beginning to explore the other uses for the proposed door. Such powerful electromagnetic properties. But now we have no choice but to leave it all behind. The only thing left to do is throw away our last...
You wanna try to do those lines again or something?
No. So, yeah, so the coin is like powerful electromagnetic, but that would not explain why it touched a hologram and exploded it.
No, we just bonked the holographic projector.
Gotta be it. Okay, so what he said that was important was you have to throw away the last crystal. However, they're too afraid to go outside. Therefore, they must have thrown it away in here. This is happening.
So we're using the jumper cables as a rope.
Yeah, because they must have thrown away the crystal in here somewhere.
But we can float.
Wow. Not when the harp happens.
Oh wow, we're still floating.
And somehow we just magically know that the crystal's here.
I don't. And just slot it right onto that key.
That's how keys work, right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't even know how they did a sequel to this, really.
I assume it's only tangentially related to
Well, the screenshots I saw like had like a full civilization thing going on.
And no splashing sound that time. We actually just floated over the water again.
And
God.
through that tiny opening
Oh.
between the stalactites.
Why this? Why?
I have no idea, dude.
Although,
I hate this game so much.
are we ever actually explicitly like called a human or humanoid?
Yeah, we are. We're sent from Earth because we're being attacked by Asgard.
It doesn't like unless they actually describe us as humanoid though. That doesn't necessarily mean like this is
We're actually
sci-fi.
a ghost chimp.
Yeah, like I'm getting the impression that we actually are some sort of like energy life form because it's the only way any of this makes sense.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't make sense anyways. There's a lot of plot holes in this sucker.
Yeah.
And this is a hard plot to botch, but they did it anyways.
And now we're in Jungle World.
Because jungles. That is something that's going to happen, by the way. We are going to be very lost.
This is frighteningly reminiscent of Maya.
Don't do that, man.
Hey ya, ha, ha, hey ya, ha, ha, hey ya, ha, ha.
I may have rewatched that section a few times yesterday.
We need to just superimpose that soundtrack over this entire section.
There's still time to edit.
Oh,
But that would get us retrograde for sure, so let's not.
Yeah.
That's a fail they haven't seen before.
Oh my god, that's like nauseating.
Total Biscuit would approve.
What's the field of view on this game anyway?
It varies depending how zoomed in you are.
But it's never any good.
Pretty much.
Now... No, never mind.
Don't worry, I don't get as firmly lost as I did in Maya.
I like the really obvious transition between, like...
Video and Node.
Yeah. Like, it's so obviously, like, different. It's actually just a fade between scenes whenever you want to move. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. All right, where are we actually headed, though?
I'm trying to find a ship. A ship that I don't know is there, by the way.
Because of course.
Now, I found the one, but not the right one.
There are multiple ships crashed in the jungle. Of course there are.
One's Osgars and one's Iconium.
But okay.
Did you have a problem with that?
Just float up on top of the side of that ship.
So... Oh, sorry for the field of view. Okay. So, like, you're supposed to see how to open this by observing, like, the ship that we stole from Osgar.
Uh-huh.
But I'm too cool for that, and also I can't do anything here anyways right now.
Oh, is that what the keypads that we didn't see were for?
Yeah.
Yep, and float on off of the... Like, there was no way to climb down there. We just jumped and floated down.
In slow-mo.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I think it's canon that we are playing as a ghost or an energy being.
I honestly can't think of any other way that this would occur.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see how long it takes me to locate the Arconian ship.
Too long.
Well, shoot.
They could have at least put some sort of actual music as opposed to this, like, wildlife ambient dot wave.
All we really needed was
Yeah, exactly. They have the one like little trill that sounds vaguely like an instrument, but everything else is just birds, and it's like it would have been a more interesting section if there was some music.
Oh, am I doing it? Oh, dude, I think I'm about to find it.
I would be very hopelessly lost.
Yeah, I think I found it.
Yep, and float on down there. Yep.
Honestly, couldn't tell if that was a shadow or like blood. My own blood. From my brain. Can I just say how disgusted I still am that people think this is a decent Myst clone?
In fairness, there are a lot of people who don't think it's very good either, and a lot of people who are just upset that it's impossible to get running on modern systems.
Because it is. Like, it actually broke my virtual machine trying to get this footage. No word of lie. It broke it.
Now I've never
completely
used the virtual
unseated
machine
all the SATAs I had.
Oh, that does sound rather distressing, though.
So I had to run the ISOs on a fake IDE primary master slave configuration.
Oh.
Emulator sorrows.
Yeah. That's why
there's one person in the audience who's just shaking your head going, "You poor man."
That's why this hasn't been released on Good Old Games. I mean, aside from the fact that it's not a good old game, but
and also that you can't contact the developer anymore.
You can't find any information about them in the first place. But no, it would be the publisher that is more likely to hold the rights.
Well then, Dreamcatcher, what's your excuse?
They already put Beyond Atlantis up. Do you really want to subject the community of Good Old Games to this?
Yes. My hatred for gamers knows no bounds.
I don't even know if they would be able to get this running on modern hardware. To be fair.
Well, they got Myst working, and that's a marvel in and of itself.
Yeah, but people actually care about that game.
Touche. They got real Myst working, which is even more of a marvel. It was so badly optimized, it hurt.
Poorly optimized games are...
Oh, I just said something bad about the Myst franchise. Excuse me, committing seppuku.
I have poorly optimized gaming woes as well, because I just started trying to play Saints Row 2, and as
PC Saints Row 2, you sucker.
As most PC gamers know, the PC port of Saints Row 2 is, without hyperbole, one of the worst PC ports ever created. That's no exaggeration.
I'm being dumb, by the way. I'm not supposed to be in this chair yet.
That's fine. I can keep waffling about Saints Row 2.
I tried to play it. I got too annoyed by the terrible optimization.
It's no exaggeration. Like, the
worse than Dark Souls.
The speed of the game is tied to the clock rate of your processor.
No.
And
no.
Yes.
No. Only Dwarf Fortress gets away with that.
Because the clock rate of the Xbox 360 is 3.2 gigahertz, any PC processor that's not clocked at 3.2 gigahertz, whether higher or lower, will make Saints Row 2 run faster. And it will run exponentially faster depending on how the difference between 3.2 gigahertz and your processor speed. And so you have to manually tweak that using a little mod that the community kicked up to alter the speed of the game. And once you do that,
quality assurance, how does it work?
yeah, once you get all that done and get the game running at its proper speed, then you can start trying to debug the shitty performance. Like, pardon the sudden swearing, but
that is the worst. Like, probably it's worse than Dark Souls. That's impressive and terrible.
yeah, it's like my game, my laptop can run, most games. Even today, it can still run a lot of games really well. Something from 2008, it should be able to run at full speed all the time. No, not Saints Row 2. Saints Row 2 has frame drops everywhere, and even if you turn off like the biggest culprit to lowering your frame rate is a graphic option called dynamic lighting. Even if you turn that off, you still get terrible frame rate. It's so bad.
Yeah,
Which is a shame because it's apparently like a really great game, and I wanted.
You actually liked it, therefore it's amazing, right?
Yeah, I want to play it. Like, if I can get the frame rate to smooth out, I will play it because I played Saints Row the Third and I really liked that. But yeah, it's such a bad port. Like, when people talk about how bad the port of Saints Row 2 is, they're not exaggerating, and there are a lot of cases where I believe that people do exaggerate about the state of PC ports.
Not this one, though.
Not with Saints Row 2. It's so bad.
Yeah, this has got to be automated because our character just turned to a wall and began going forward.
Now we're flying through the trench run.
Come on, even Tomb Raider did better than this.
Oh, and there's the light at the end of the trench.
Travis. Now, are you ready for the one decent idea the game had?
Post-apocalyptic Earth.
Well, this isn't this is what Osgar's trying to do to Earth.
Oh.
This is like a Arconian city that's been drowned.
That's a very sparse city.
Well, I'm sure these are the highest buildings.
You'd figure if it had 5 buildings that tall, though, they would have more than 5 buildings that were that tall.
I don't know. It's just. By the way, I wasn't kidding about it being completely and totally automated because we're gonna get off this. Off this thing, and then it's going to fly away.
How did it know where to bring us?
Magic, but it goes back to where it originally is, and then it locks itself back into place.
Of course. Oh, bye-bye.
And see, it looks like there's a person in there very briefly. It looks like for one frame there's a person in there, and that's the one frame they used in advertising.
It's another ghost.
Ghosts everywhere.
So here we are in scenic 2012 New York.
No, make it ominous. Say 2018 New York.
Well, I was referring to that disaster movie, or is that called? Was that The Day After Tomorrow, or
Day After Tomorrow? Yeah,
2012
was also Los Angeles, right?
Oh, I don't. I will be honest. Both of those movies have kind of just blended together in my memory now.
They're made by the same guy who only does disaster movies.
I don't remember which one is which. I don't even remember.
Worry. I don't even remember Roland Emmerich's anything.
I don't remember which one came out first. The Day After Tomorrow came out first, right?
First. Yeah, 2012 came out in 2012.
Now, I thought 2012 came out in 2008.
Nope.
Something.
2012 wasn't even a thing in 2008.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
There were people going on about because it was the Mayan calendar, so there were people going on about that for a long time.
Okay, so are you ready for a terrible puzzle?
Yeah, I saw you were circling a painting. Are we going to paint?
Yeah, it has orange and purple and green on it.
I like how those colors just clash so horribly with every other artistic aesthetic we've seen in this game so far.
Yeah. And what's really baffling is I have no idea how this puzzle works. Like, I think you're supposed to, like, click the colors in a way that they blend. But, like, the answer's right there. But then it doesn't do anything. And just... like, do you know what's going on? Because I don't know what's going on.
No.
It's like, I make green, and then I was like, okay, what do I do? Let's try making purple. Okay, let's make orange then, right?
Whoa.
And I just kind of go backwards and nothing happens, and I'm all sad.
Bad adventure games.
But yeah, you just want to know the answer? And I don't understand this?
Sure.
Click the bottom left 5 times.
Seriously?
And then, yeah.
And a CD.
Compact disc.
Wow, yeah, we're
and portable
just levitating
Stargate.
them into...
Portable Stargate with keyhole and numpad.